Hey guys, Chad here from Take It or Leave It, here with a movie review for you for the film The Substance. Here's the synopsis. A fading celebrity decides to use a black market drug, a cell-replicating substance that temporarily creates a younger, better version of herself. Alright, and with that down, let's get to the pros and the cons, starting with the pros. Well, look, I think that we all just need to take a step back for a second and just appreciate what 2024 has given us in terms of great horror films so far, and not just good horror, but great, original, unique, stylish horror, particularly from some no-name kind of up-and-coming directors. Some names that come to mind in particular are Jane Schoenbrunn with I Saw the TV Glow, Oz Perkins with Longlegs, and most recently J.T. Malner with Strange Darling. Well, it's official, you can add Coralie Fargeat, the director of The Substance, to this list of stylish, up-and-coming directors, because my god in heaven, she knocks this freaking movie out of the park and just directs the shit out of it. Seriously, I was so goddamn impressed with her direction in this film. She has such command and control of her craft, and I give her so much credit for just going so punk rock with this movie and making the film that she wanted to make, regardless of how insane it gets. More on that later, but first I got to talk about the performances in this film. Demi Moore does what Julia Roberts did last year and reminds us why she's a frickin' superstar. And I genuinely think this might be a career-defining performance for her. And it's such a courageous performance. I mean, not only is she nude for the majority of the film, it seems, but like she beats the ever-loving shit out of herself in this movie. I mean, she's punching herself, slapping herself in the face, tearing her goddamn hair out. Hats off to her, and it's just so goddamn cool to see her back in a film like this where she's really the heart and soul of the movie. And what's not to say about Margaret Qualley? You know, all the suspicions that I had that she was a phenomenal actress ever since I saw her in The Leftovers, all of those suspicions have been confirmed. She shows so much dynamic range in this film. She goes from bubbly, enthusiastic, exciting, sexy in one scene, and then a little bit later, she's an absolute frickin' nut job, both of which she does so convincingly well. But who the hell saw this one coming? As great of performances as they give, it's Dennis frickin' Quaid who steals the show completely. I had no idea that he was still capable of giving a performance like this, and I had no idea how much I needed to see a performance like this from him. He's such a disgusting slimeball in this film, but he's also so freaking funny. I mean, every time he's on screen, I was cracking up. And while I've heard a number of people say that this film could do for Demi Moore what Pulp Fiction did for John Travolta in the 90s, that could absolutely be the case, but I think you gotta throw Dennis Quaid on the list because he absolutely kills it in this film. But I also gotta mention the editing, the sound design, and the musical score in this film. It's all just frickin' nominal. Something I noticed about halfway through is that there's not a lot of dialogue in this film relative to its length. But this was never an issue for me because the editing, the sound design, the musical score, and the resulting pacing keeps the film super engaging and extremely entertaining. And the final act of this film, I mean, come on, talk about swinging for the weird, right? This is far and away the most insane, outrageous, ridiculous, and hilarious third act of any film that came out this year, at least so far. And you add incredible practical effects on top of all this, and my god, I was in heaven for the majority of this final act. But now let's get to a couple of the issues that I had with the film. The first being that despite the kind of frenetic energy and brisk pacing to this film, you know, it still did feel a bit overlong at 2 hours and 20 minutes. And it doesn't help when the film also suffers from Return of the King syndrome, which is to say multiple fake out endings. But yeah, it did feel like the film could have been trimmed down to maybe 2 hours and 10 minutes or just 2 hours. For example, there's a scene where one of the characters is kicking somebody in the ribs like over and over and over again, and it just felt like it went on for 5 minutes. You know, cutting down on some of that might have just tightened up this film a little bit. And as much as I love how frickin' punk rock this film gets in the final final act, the silliness does cross a line for me at a point. I mean, the homages alone, particularly a reference to 2001: A Space Odyssey toward the end of the film, I mean, Jesus Christ. It just gets so ridiculous at a point in time that it's borderline fourth wall breaking, but you know, at the same time, that's part of the film's charm. That's part of that punk rock mentality and attitude that I'm talking about. So there is a bit of a trade-off there, I guess. This film definitely has elements of Antiviral, Maxine, Neon Demon, Severance, and Tales of the Crypt, as well as some homages to The Shining, 2001: A Space Odyssey, The Elephant Man, and Carrie. Please let me know if I missed anything. And I gotta give The Substance a 9.3 out of 10. But those are just my thoughts, take it or leave it. What do you guys think? Have you seen this film yet? Do you think it's the most crazy and insane film of the year? I think it might be. It's definitely in the running, but let me know what you think down in the comments section. Let's talk about it. And if you enjoyed this video, but you want more information about what's on my watch list, what I'm currently watching, the kind of ratings I'm giving these films, as well as upcoming releases I'm looking forward to, don't forget to follow me on track.tv. My username is TIOLI_reviews. The link is in the description box. Go ahead and click it and start following me on Tracked, and I look forward to seeing you over there. And as usual, guys, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I really appreciate it. Don't be afraid to hit that like and subscribe button. And until next time, I'm Chad from Take It or Leave It, and I'll check you later.
Check you later. Check you later.
Hey man, get off my case.
Oh man. Chicks don't want to hear that shit.